I found a box with blinking lights tucked away in the footwell. And that's the tracker. Welcome to Garage Money Pit, and welcome back if you've watched some of our other videos. Slightly different video today, but something that seems to be happening more and more often as it comes to people buying used cars from dealers and finding additional items on the car that they didn't expect. There's a 2020 MX-5 behind me. I purchased that car a few months ago. It hasn't made the channel yet, partially because I run into the same issue I always run with MX-5s and Miatas, which is that I really like driving them, but I get bored with them very quickly. The dealer I bought this from did mention a tracker. I don't have any financing on this car, so the tracker wasn't a requirement. By the way, if you're not aware of this, this is something that's becoming more and more common in the US, that if you finance a car, finance company wants a tracker on the car. Anyway, after I was trying to diagnose a mystery battery drain, I noticed there's a tracker on the car. So I'm going to show you how I found it, where it is, and I'm going to try and remove it. If you're contractually obligated to have a tracker on the car, go watch one of Huvi's videos or something else. This video is not for you. This is more for you, for people like me who don't have financing that requires a tracker on the car and do like their privacy enough that they would want to remove it. Also, I want to make one thing very clear. I'm not screaming for lawyers. I'm not blaming anybody. If anything, I'm blaming myself for not checking further because all the signs were there. And I'll show you some of those signs. So the first and most obvious clue that this car had a tracker on it was this sticker. This is a 2020 MX-5, and as far as I know, Mazda did not put any online connectivity in the car. So that was clue number one. Clue number two, I have to get a light to show you this. The OBD2 connector. Somewhere down that way. The OBD2 connector on this thing is black. And the stock OBD2 connector on these cars is a off-white. And after some investigation, I found a box with blinking lights tucked away in the footwell. And that's the tracker. This is the OBD2 connector. It's the wrong color. You can probably just about see a black box hiding behind that wiring. That's the tracker. And that is actually plugged in to the original OBD2 port. That's how it gets its power. I have to pull out some of the wiring that is going behind the fuse box. You can see some colorful non-stock looking wiring here. Then I should be able to disconnect the tracker from the original OBD2 port, pop out the existing OBD2 port, basically the fake one, and plug the original one back in. Okay, so the tracker box wasn't really connected to anything. You can see blinking lights on there. If they dare to blink, at the moment they don't seem to. So that is the actual tracker box. This is what it looks like on the other side. So it's Spirion. Sorry, I'm just covering the IEMI. Okay, so that's the box. This cable that my finger's pointing to is how it gets power. Once I disconnect that, the tracker will be powered down. Now, the good news so far is that it looks like they did not tap into any wires or anything, which is something I was concerned about, because I hate cable salad as much as the next guy, if not more. So the fact that this all seems to be plug and play is good news. Okay, this is the whole unit, and this allows us to look at how these things are actually fitted. So you can see there's an OBD2 pass-through. So I really appreciate that this is an actual proper pass-through. I know some other people had issues with these not being proper pass-throughs, because the Mazda dealer was actually able to update the airbag software for the airbag software recall with this thing in place. We can also see that it's basically just pulling power from there. That's what these two cables are. That's what powers the tracker, and of course there are now no blinking lights anymore. This is basically what you're looking for when you have a regular tracker on a car. Again, as I mentioned earlier, if you agreed to have one as a condition of your loan and stuff, leave it on the car. If you like your privacy and you're not that keen on having somebody else track it, this is what you need to remove. Now, a couple of things. I really like that this is self-contained, and that's me as a computer person who knows a little bit more about electronics than the average bear, but not that much more. Speaking, I like the fact that it's self-contained. I like the fact that they didn't use vampire clips and shit to tap into things, right? This is easy to fit, it's easy to remove once you found it, and in general, it's a clean install, and with modern cars having tons and tons of wiring, having it this way is actually beneficial. So anyway, that was a very brief video. By the way, if you want me to talk about that MX-5, let me know in the comments. I might make a video about it. I'm still in two minds about it, but basically the idea is the MX-5 out of the box, other than lack of a roll bar, is pretty trackable. And this thing here is turning into more and more of a project. And yes, I hear people yell, it's a Lotus, of course it's a project. Yes, I know that. Anyway, thank you for watching. Just a little bit of info that might come in helpful at some point in time.